Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin received, and the translation reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I want to confess to you that I am a South African woman. Even though people are going to judge me, but this is what I did. I let my mom's boyfriend bless me each and every month until I had managed to get a job. He blessed me for about 2 years straight, whilst I was sleeping with him for 1,500 rands each and every month. That was the girlfriend allowance that he was giving to me. I don't expect you to understand, but this is exactly what happened. So me coming here, I want your followers to assist me to at least let this guilt that is in my heart, to let it out of my heart, because whenever I look at my mom, with the way that she loves her boyfriend, she does not even know that I used to sleep with him for 1,500. Sometimes I suspect that it was the money that he would have borrowed from my mother, and then he would give that money to me, yet my mom does not even suspect a thing. In fact, I hope that no one will even understand this confession of mine, because it is something that is quite heartless to sleep with the same man that is sleeping with your own mother. So trying to decide whether you buy pads or bread, trying to find coins that you would have dropped maybe in your room for a very long time, and then when you are like totally broke, you are on your period, you want to go and buy bread, at the same time you need to buy pads. When you find yourself opening up the fridge and see nothing but old margarine, it is just painful, and it is a painful existence. At that time, I was no longer staying at home. I had gotten a job, a boyfriend. Things were going according to plan, but it was very difficult for me after I had lost my job and my boyfriend ran away from me. So I was living in Vosloorus with my ex-boyfriend. He used to come and then he dumped me totally, and my mom was staying at her house with her boyfriend. That is not his real name though. So he's someone that is a hustler, and I really liked him. No, I did not like him as such as a boyfriend, but at the beginning of our relationship, I saw him as a father. My mom loved him because he brought meat into her house, braai meat, beers, and once in a while he used to give her a lot of money. And then that was when I returned back home. When I returned back to home, I did not like the fact that he was now drinking too much. He said that he was going through a lot of stress after his daughter, who was my same age, had passed away. He drank too much, shouted too much, and when my mom was not around, he would smile at me like I was a woman. So then I moved back to the place where I was staying. When I moved back, things got so bad, and then one day I called everyone that I knew I needed some money, like I had to get that money, for it was quite urgent. And then when I called him as the last option, he asked me how much I wanted, and then I told him that I needed at least 200 rands. He said, for what? I said, I just wanted to buy some necessities, like I was going to be on my period and I needed that money. And then that was when he said, okay, let me send you a wallet. He then sent me an e-wallet. It was of 1,500 rands. I went and I collected it, and he said, did you get the money? And I said, yes, I got the money. He said, okay, next time when you need someone or when you need company, just tell me name. And then I said, it is okay. I did not understand. The first time that he touched me, it was small, a hand on my thigh, a too long hug, whispers whenever my mom was doing laundry outside. And then one night when they were drinking, He waited until my mom had passed out from the alcohol. He came to my room, knocked once, opened anyway. I froze. He sat on my bed and he was like, "You owe me. I need my money. You know these things are not for free." We started talking, but because he had already texted me and said, "How about you do not get broke like ever? I'm going to be giving you money each and every month." So when he walked into my room, he then started to tell me the money that he would be giving to me, and I agreed. When I slept with him the first time, I cried and I said, "So this is what I have done to my mom just because I want the money." But we kept on sleeping with each other for 2 years. My mom never even suspected that this was what was going on. He would sometimes come to the room where I was renting, stay with me even for a week. Yet my mom would be calling me, asking me if I had seen my stepdad, and he would be in my bed. We used to enjoy our love making. I even fell pregnant for him twice. I really do not know how I fell pregnant, because as far as I knew, I was taking my family planning pills in time. I was even going to get the injection, but still I fell pregnant for that guy twice. We kept on dating, and whenever I would go to church, I would feel so guilty because of the things that I was doing. There was even a time when I was at church when the pastor started to preach about relationships that were like taboo, and he gave an example and he said, "Will it be a good thing for me to sleep with my own daughter?" I felt hot flashes, and I felt as if he was pointing his suspicious finger at me, as he was pointing his fingers around the church, trying to make an example so that people can understand. But no one knew that this pastor, maybe he did not know that he was being told by the Lord to speak to me directly. On that day, I even told myself that I do not want to continue going to church because they are very judgmental. This guy is the only one that is my lifeline. He has provided me with the money that I need, and I was able to survive. And then I finally got a job. When I got a job, like, I was even nervous to tell him that I could not continue dating him anymore. But the day that I told him that I was unable to continue dating him, to my surprise, the guy did not even say anything. He just said, "It is fine. There is no problem at all. Since you say that you do not want to date me, no, it is okay." So that is exactly what happened, Brother Nashim. Me and that guy, we finally broke up, and after we had broken up, and then I got another guy. So this is my own secret. I have never told anyone this secret. It is like my own secret that I have not told anyone. That is my own confession. When you post for me, please tell me. I'll follow through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak about this in the comment section.